Hello, Sam-ariffic science fans! So we got to 100 subscribers, and 3 weeks before January 1st, yes! So, as I promised, here's the behind-the-scenes video on how I do it. I used to do a bit of things differently in seasons 1 and 2, but those have since been removed. So, without any further ado, today we're going to unfold the world of video making. The first step is by far the hardest, deciding a topic of the video. Sometimes I have a good idea while working on the video. Other times it can take me a day of thinking. Sometimes, if it's a continuation of the Planet series, it's easier. Also, my family will help me a lot. So the second step is scripting. This usually takes me one day, maybe a day and a half. It really depends on the length of the video. I do my scripting on Google Docs. After I finish scripting, I read it out loud to see if it flows. If it does, then I run it past my parents. They're really important because if they get it, it means that I'm not the only one who does, and obviously I get it since I made it. Step 3 is recording audio. I have a set of 2 microphones my dad bought for me on Amazon. Unfortunately, I don't have a noise-proof room or anything, so I shut the door to my bedroom and record. There, I usually use noise-canceling headphones, so I'm not distracted by the sound of my own voice. This makes it all much smoother. I do this straight in my editing app, which is InShot. This means that I must make the project first. I can only add a video once at a time, so I add the background, which is just a 4-minute video, the 100 subscribers ad, or at least I used to. Then I add the credits. After that, I add the part of the background after the theme song. I add the other background changes and things later. Normally when I do this, I take a screenshot of my script and put it in the video as a pip, picture-in-picture, to read off of without having to print it. I usually need 2 or 3 screenshots per video. After I record, I try to edit the audio, but it doesn't always work too well since I'm not great at that. But finally, after everything else, I get to work on my absolute favorite part, visual editing. But before you can begin this part, just know that every time I add a background change, the next piece of audio moves that much farther away. So if you see me dragging around audio, that's why. The first step of this is actually listening to the audio once more to get an idea of what I want to add visually. Those ideas are coming all the way from when I first began scripting, but I still do this anyway. After that, I go to the beginning to begin editing. Just so you know, I add Samuel after everything else. It's the last step. I go to the chalk font and color I use and write the first hello. Usually I try not to change the background until after the theme song. I add in the circle transition at the beginning of the theme song, and then the dissolve one at the end. I try to have something moving on screen at least once every 10 seconds. If I download something, then I add the site that I got it from onto Google Docs and later into the video description. I add in these pictures in the same way as I did the script, with a pip. If there is a key point, then I usually will type it. The doodles that I add are just little drawings that you can do from the editing app. However, I'm not that good at drawing. To change the background into a GIF or picture, I just simply split the main background where I want it, and then I add it in where I split it. The whoosh sound that I've started adding as of last week's video during transitions is from the effects category on InShot. However, it's very quiet, so I end up turning up the volume. After all that is done, I add in Samuel as a bunch of pips. To make sure that they're roughly the same size, I doodle a box to help me. When that's done, I delete the box and save the video. I present it to my family before we watch our show in the evening, and if it's all good, I prepare to upload it the next Saturday. So I have to make a thumbnail. If you look at most of my thumbnails, you'll see that they have black and white text, but that's because the only way a YouTube thumbnail maker lets me do it. Sometimes I make my thumbnails there, and then add colored text on InShot. After that, I upload the video. I add in the photo credits I need to the description, make sure comments are on, and make a title. Coming up with a title is always fun, but it can be hard as well. After I upload it to YouTube, I love reading all your comments that you leave to see how you react to my work. In total, it takes me 7 to 15 hours to make a video. However, unfortunately, school must take priority, so if I ever miss a weekly post, you can blame my teacher. But seriously, thank you all for 100 subscribers. I hope you enjoyed, and thank you for watching, all 100 of you. Oh man, I can't believe I did it. I got to 100 subscribers!